Do sing it.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Liz, take it away now. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wakilsky,
Here.
Mr. Meehan,
Here.
Ms. DiVenazia,
Here.
Mr. Hetrick,
Here.
Mr. Murray,
Here.
Mr. Balin,
Here.
Ms. Minson. Here. Mr. Weissman,
Here.
Mr. Lynch.
Here.
Mr. Semrau.
Here.
Mr. Pasternak,
Here.
Mr. Henry,
Here.
and Ms. Bodwich is here.
Are we recording? Usually we hear that,
I hit it when you guys were pledging.
so we're good. Okay, thank you. Notice this meeting has been provided through resolution adopted by the mayor and council on December 16th, 2024. This regular meeting of the mayor and town council at the Boonton Town Hall, 100 Washington Street, Boonton, New Jersey, and by electronic mailing to the citizen of Morris County and the Daily Record newspapers, through posting on the town website and by filing a copy of same with the town clerk. Members of the public were also permitted to submit written comments prior to the meeting via mail or email, which will be read during the public comment period. All public comments, whether during the public portion of the meeting or submitted beforehand, shall be limited to no greater than 3 minutes in duration. At this time, we go on to various committee and liaison reports, starting with Administrator Neil Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, some key items which have been addressed by my office since the last meeting include the continuation of working with the Finance Committee to conclude our 2025 budget. Also continue to work with the Police Department to update the ordinance on handicap parking, which was tabled for public hearing and adoption at the meeting on March 3rd. I am recommending that this continue to be tabled pending a thorough update by the Police Department on that entire ordinance. I attended a meeting of the Veteran Banners Committee. There are a total of an additional 20 banners on order, which we've now gotten pictures for. The committee is still looking for pictures for the remaining names for those who served and whose names are on the monument in front of Town Hall. Those names can be located on our website. If you go on there and see somebody that you know and have a picture, please contact my office. I worked with our water utility professionals to secure the final authorization to advertise the long-awaited bid for the upgrades at the water treatment facility. Bids will be advertised this week. And as usual, work continues on managing matters, a number of matters related to personnel and other litigation. That concludes my report for this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Mr. Henry? Seeing none, we'll move on to finance personnel. Councilmember Weissman.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Henry alluded to this, but we've been hard at work, multiple meetings a week, some of these to finalize work on the budget. I know other individual council members not on the finance committee, I think have been contacted by the CFO to schedule meetings and conversations. So please do those, have those conversations. The plan for everyone up here, as well as everyone listening or watching to know, is that the budget will be introduced at the April 7th meeting for adoption and vote at the meeting on May 5th. Statutorily, we have to leave about a 30-day gap with, based on timing of meetings and things like that. So the budget will be available publicly at that point. I encourage everyone to take a look. A lot of hard work has gone into this budget. And I said it 2 weeks ago, I'll say it again. I'll probably say it again on April 7th and May 5th. But thank you, Neil, Mike Yazdi, our CFO, all the department heads who worked really hard on this budget, as well as the members of the committee, Council Members Bale and Meehan and Mayor Lynch. And that's my report.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Councilmember? Seeing none, we'll move on to police. Councilmember Meehan.
Thank you, Mayor. We met as a committee on March 11th. We went over some of the hiring that's going on. There's going to be another ad placed. We didn't get enough candidates for one of the positions. We spoke overall about speeding in town, a couple of different places. We spoke directly about Oak Street, where DPW is going to go over the speed bumps and signage, make sure everything's painted right on the road. We're also looking at Wrestler. Now that a lot of the work has been completed, seems to be some more speeding going on there. I find that frankly hard to believe since it's such a small street, but it does happen. We're going to talk about getting new signage throughout the town to keep monitoring speeding. We spoke about pets in the park ordinance. There's a little gray area, so we're reviewing the wording in that, get it all tightened up. And as alluded to earlier by Administrator Henry, we're going over the handicap parking ordinance, make sure we got that all buttoned up. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Councilmember Meehan? Seeing none, we'll move on to Councilmember Meehan, Recreation.
Rec Committee, they met on March 4th. I was not able to attend due to, we were running a open house pickleball over at John Hill. But a couple of items that are coming up, the Boot Loose, our country line dancing has been sold out, which is a big, big hit. So if you didn't get your tickets in on time, hopefully you can go next year. We got the town cleanup coming up on April 19th. That'll be along with the slogan contest, which I'll allow Councilman Hetrick to talk about that. The Easter extravaganza will be at Canal Side Park on April 13th. And then our car show on April 27th. And Tracy's hard at work getting ready for summer camp. There you have it. A lot going on.
Thank you.
Thank
Any comments or questions for Councilmember Meehan?
Has early bird registration for camp already closed? When does regular registration close? Do you know?
Offhand, I do not. Director Pryor?
Early bird is open now. It's been open since December of last year. And it will end May 1st or April 30th at 12 noon, I believe.
Okay, so just to repeat that, if you want to.
Early bird?
Early bird ends May
Early
1st.
bird registration is going to be open up until May 1st. After that, it'll be normal pricing. Registration for camp, I'm assuming, goes till June,
Until
early June. So get your kids in camp.
Thank you.
I'm gonna hop in real quick to expand on that
Sure.
slogan contest. So this is our third annual environmental slogan contest. It's open to kids, 18 and under. Draw a fun picture with like a little slogan, throw it in the bin, nature wins. You're welcome to steal that. I think it's been used. I don't know. And submit them to Tracy, or you can make them in person at the cleanup day. If you want to come, we'll have crayons, we'll have a little table, we'll have paper. And whoever the winner is, their picture and slogan is going to be on stickers for the next year's cleanup. It's going to be used in advertising. We'll put it on the town website, just like the past year's winners have been. So please, if you have kids, know people with kids, tell them to enter, the more the merrier. Let's make it hard to judge this year.
Thank you. Moving on to Board of Education, Councilmember DeVenezi.
Okay, so Board of Ed met on March 10th. Just the high points. They had just celebrated Read Across America at John Hill School. So students from the high school came and read to the kids at School Street. The Powder Puff is coming up on April 10th. The shows have been announced for the GSA show. Red's doing Wizard of Oz. Black's doing Legally Blonde. Go Red. Yay, Red. I also want to shout out to two of our wrestlers who did very well in the state tournament in Atlantic City. Samira Koopa finished third in the state in her weight class, and Julia Fungaro finished fourth in the state. So kudos to our Lady Bomber wrestlers. They did very, very well in Atlantic City. There will be a reception on March 23rd at the Historical Society regarding Boonton. Let's see, there were some paraprofessionals appointed. The musical did very, very well. It was the Music Man. It was very well attended. We had Trouble in River City. Starts with a capital P. Stands for pool. Several of our artists are going to be in some regional art shows, so good for them. And let's see, what else have we got? Oh, there's just so many great things going on. But I think the thing that everybody was anxious about was to hear the information about the school budget, which is that they did move to pass a budget that has a 2%, a 2% plus another 1% that they're going to take from an enrollment bump that they can use. And also they're taking 200,000 from capital reserve because there was a $3 million roof replacement project at the high school that needs to be paid for. There will be a public budget hearing for that budget on April 28th. So if anyone wants to speak about that, please come to the meeting. And that, I think the rest of it is pretty much, that's it.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Councilmember DiVinizio?
Just one question. You said that they moved to pass the budget with a 2%.
They,
What?
they moved a budget that, they introduced a budget.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the word I want to, that has a 3% increase plus $200 access, 200,000 access to the capital reserve fund.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Moving on to Green Team, Councilmember Hetrick.
All right, so coming up, March 27th, we have our third seminar. It's going to be Plant This, Not That, which is going to be focused on helping people select native and non-invasive species that might have similar like aesthetics and looks to maybe less friendly plants to put in their planting. Not saying you have to tear anything out, because obviously, you know, we're not trying to tell people to destroy their yards, but like, you know, if you're going to pick a new plant, pick one that our local fauna are going to see as a food source, or going to see as a way to help our entire ecosystem flourish. Then I touched on the slogan contest. I was going to bring that up. And we have a town cleanup contest, which is for people who can't make the 19th, for families with young children who maybe it's hard to nail down one day. Submit a picture of you and your family with a full garbage bag of litter that you have picked up throughout the community. Send it in to the Green Team, and we're going to collect all of those. There'll be 3 winners who are going to get some gift cards from businesses that are donating gift cards on Main Street. And then we're going to make a collage with it and kind of, you know, put it up somewhere at some point.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
Just one, I love that contest, Dean. I think it's a great idea. I am sure many of you have been getting more and more complaints about litter and trash around, especially Plain Street, the Canal Street parking lot, other places. So just, I think for the Green Team, please, I know there's some increased enforcement around, you know, the trash schools, but I think it's just an ongoing issue that, you know, I appreciate the work you, the Green Team, that you are all doing as a piece of that. I think it's just something we want to really stay on top of. Exactly.
Moving on to Historic Preservation, Councilmember Balin.
Thank you, Mayor. At a previous meeting, we reviewed one application. It was approved. I was not present at the meeting, but it was successful. Brief meeting.
Any comments or questions for Councilmember Balin?
Do you happen to know the location of that application?
Boonton Coffee.
Thank you.
Moving on to correspondence, we have a couple of pieces. First one, I'll read. Good day. Boonton's 5th Annual Boonton Rainbow Pride Day 2025 is rapidly approaching, and we, the RP members, are so excited to have the community join in for the creation of the annual Rainbow Pride artwork structure. I'd like to request to the Town Council that the rainbow structure created on Boonton Pride Day 6/21/25 be allowed to remain in Grace Lord Park through the end of June 2025. Please place this request on the agenda for the next public meeting. Can I get a motion to open this up for discussion?
Vincent?
Second, DVD.
All in favor?
Okay.
Anybody have comments or thoughts?
My only comment is that this has been successfully displayed in the park for several years now. It's been great, a great center for community support, and I would strongly hope that people would support its installation this year as well.
Okay. A motion to accept this and grant their request.
So
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next piece. Good afternoon. It's come to my attention that Linda Bushinsky has put in a request to join the Green Team, but was not selected. She's a much better candidate than myself, so I'm resigning so that she may have the opportunity to join the team. Signed, Mark Hetrick. Can we get a motion to open this up for discussion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I guess my only question, just as a point of information, I think it's a yes either way, but are we voting both on Mr. Hetrick's resignation and Ms. Lashinsky's nomination, or is that?
That's not my intent.
Okay. This is just
My intent is to accept his resignation. Jake is the chair, came up to me and gave me a little nudge before.
Yeah.
It's my intention, a number of people had applied. I know Linda Lasinski is probably well qualified, but I do want to, look at the other applicants before, I think it's the mayor's,
It is.
authority to appoint.
Okay,
And I communicated to Jake that I would have an appointment for the next meeting.
great. I just want to clarify. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Just how many people are on the
think there's
committee?
6.
Just curious.
It's 6 plus myself, so.
I just say thanks to Mr. Hetrick for volunteering. It's always hard to find volunteers. Thanks for your service.
Motion to accept this regretfully.
So move.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Next, moving on to consent agenda. There's two items on here, resolution 25-91 and 25-92 that I'm going to pull from the agenda. We can discuss them at a further point, but they will not be included in the consent agenda. I get a motion to open up the consent agenda for discussion.
Don't move, Wakilski.
Second, Balin.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody have comments or questions?
Mayor, with respect to resolution 25-94, I'd like to just ask for an amendment in the whereas clauses. And that relates to 122 Plain Street and the drainage improvements.
Sure, would you like to read that into record?
If I may,
Please.
it would be whereas the Boonton Housing Authority incurred a drainage issue which caused a sinkhole on its property. And whereas the town has agreed to fund the majority of the cost of the project for the benefit of and on behalf of the housing authority. And the rest of the resolution can stand the way it's presently presented.
I motion that.
So I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda with the language read into the record by Mr. Semra.
Second, Wakilski.
Well, did anybody else have comments about any of the other
Yeah.
resolutions?
You really like that one.
I did.
I have a quick question. Do we need
Sure.
to insert the word project somewhere in the whereas? Does that help us?
Yes, and in the second, whereas I added, said the majority of the cost of the project
Got it.
for the
Thank you.
benefit of the
Missed that.
drainage,
Thank you.
but thank you for highlighting that, Mr. Meehan. Yes, it's in there.
Do you have something else?
I may have missed, are we tabling any items from any resolutions?
Well, we're not tabling, we're just removing them from the agenda.
Okay,
We're removing
91 and 92.
91 and 92.
okay.
Right. So we voted on everything but 91. Got it. I
Now,
think there's a motion on the floor prematurely, but
Yeah, a little bit.
anybody else have comments or questions? No, I'll call for roll call.
Balin.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
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 Yes. The next up is ordinance 02-25. An ordinance amending Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 201-33, handicap parking spaces within the town of Boonton. I understand that this was tabled with the expectation was going to come back. And now we have, I see some additional information that I think at least one resident who has a handicap spot has requested that we remove it. I think there's some other things that could be done here. Can I get some guidance as far as,
Send it back to committee.
Sure, Mayor. And as Mr. Henry already said, there were a couple of ways to approach this, but when my office looked at this for legal sufficiency, there are really two prongs. The town certainly has the authority to create handicap spaces on public property within certain other, designated areas pursuant to statute. But there are other instances where it's not on public property and it does not otherwise fall into that exception where we can just do it on our own. We need to actually have written permission from the property owner to enforce Title 39. And we had discovered at least one of those when Captain Patonic and I went through this. And then Mr. Henry thought that it was best, and I agree with them, to do this full overhaul to make sure that it is entirely vetted before it comes back to the governing body for approval. And that way it's perfect.
So procedurally, what would you like me to do? Do we
I would
not
just-
vote on it? Do we table it? Do we?
I would just table it. I don't know how long it takes Officer Patonic to go through all of it. But I would just suggest that you table it tonight, and then when we get the vetted.
How about this? I asked for a motion to table indefinitely, knowing it's going back to committee with the expectation that we're going to move on it.
That's fine.
Expeditions.
I move that we table this ordinance for future consideration at a later date.
Second.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Balin.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. Let's see if I'm on the right page here.
I think you come to page 10. New business.
An ordinance number 04-25, an ordinance amending Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 130 fees, Chapter 2, and Chapter 216, recycling within the code of the town of Boonton. We're looking for a motion to introduce this. Okay. Can we get a motion to introduce this?
Second, Vincent?
Roll call?
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Evanazia?
Yes.
Mr. Hetrick?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
Ms. Minson?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Weitzman?
Yes.
Mr. Wiltie?
Yes.
Mayor Lynn?
Yes. Town council members, administrator, and town attorney comments. Any members of town council? Councilmember Weissman.
All right, yeah, two things for me. The first, Councilmember Minson, I would love to ask, there was an executive order that came out of the White House, I think today, maybe it was yesterday, regarding cuts to funding for a number of agencies, including the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which I know funds libraries. I don't know if our library gets any money from that, but I would love to know if there's any impact.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then the second thing is that I know the whole council received an email which came after the public comment period was closed, but I've received comment from a number of other residents as well regarding demolition in town. And my understanding is that there may be some opportunities to tighten our ordinances regarding what's required to get a demolition permit. So per the structure I think we have in place, I guess what I'm asking is if there are 3 other council members who agree that this is something that we should explore. And then I don't know if we could refer to a committee or whether we form an ad hoc committee, but I think it would be great to really delve into the process by which those permits are obtained and what safety elements are required.
Have you looked at the existing ordinance?
Yeah, I have, and there's some gaps.
Okay. I would support that.
I support it.
I'm into it.
Okay.
Great.
So we got to put together a committee. Would you like to be on it?
I'm happy to be on it.
Any other?
I'd like to be on it.
How about Rob and Zeke?
Great.
Great, and I'll sit in as well.
Great.
Okay, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Any others?
I just have a question on what we introduced tonight. So is that at our next meeting? Will we be able to discuss this?
Or you can ask questions approaching that meeting. It doesn't have to do at the meeting.
Right, okay. Wanted to be clear on the process.
Anyone else?
I got just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in a plug for the car show. I believe that there are still trophy sponsorship opportunities available. And so if you are of such a mind, if it's not too late, Tracy, can you confirm yes or no? It's too late, never mind. You can't get your name on a trophy this year, but line up for next year.
Rob?
In our consent agenda, we approved two new firemen. I just want to thank them for that commitment and as always, Boonton is a great thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I open the meeting up to the public. Any members of the public wishing to discuss anything, please come forward, introduce yourselves and for a minute. Floor is yours for 3 minutes. Oh, ladies first.
Oh, it's actually private, 217 Crown Road. We always give a shout out to Boonton Main Street, but I'm actually giving a shout out to Dave's Tire for helping my wife today with her tire situation. So thank you to somebody else in town a little. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
I don't know if that was.
We heard you.
I don't think it
Yes.
is.
Hello, Stacy Whitcraft, 1210 Birch. I'm actually only coming up because my friend here wanted to grab a piece of bread. But actually, while I'm up here, I would like to thank Councilmember Weitzman for bringing up the demolition on Birch Street. I live catty corner across from it and had a good show, but also am concerned about the dust billowing up from this construction. I know that or deconstruction rather. I know that there will be dust in something being deconstructed, but I don't know what's in it, and it's concerning me because it's billowing dust. They still continue to move things into dumpsters every time they put things in the dumpsters. Dust is billowing throughout the neighborhood. So if there's any oversight that could be placed on this project while it's ongoing, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. No. One mission,
You had one job, Stacy, one job.
great service.
Mayor, can I make a comment as a resident?
Go right ahead.
Alexis Vincent, 208 Rockaway Street. I'm making a comment as a resident. I had a very embarrassing and unfortunate incident this weekend that involved a fire. Completely my fault. And I know that I put my neighbors in a situation where they were very scared. And I just want to say thank you, public thank you to the Boonton Police and Fire Department. They came out very quickly. They were incredibly professional and also very kind on me. So just to thank you, and just want to reiterate to the gentlemen that are stepping up into this team. It was pretty humbling to watch these men at work, even just in this small incident. And I was very grateful. Thank you.
I'm sorry, you didn't introduce yourself, did you? Thank you. Anyone else? Then I would call for motion to adjourn. Oh, we have a,
Correspondence.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is from Matt Benjamin of South Terrace. I recently became aware of the changes to the procedure for dropping off yard waste at the town garage. Initially, I needed some clarification as to the ban on trailers used to aid in the logistics for homeowners getting debris to the facility. I heard from Joan Santucci regarding my question as to if commercial vehicles with trailers were banned and homeowners utilizing non-commercial vehicles were still permitted at the facility. Thank you, Joan, for your immediate response. Joan stated that all trailers of any kind were banned entirely from the facility as of April 1st. After researching the specific code regarding these rules, 264-30C2, I understand that homeowners with pickup trucks up to 3/4 ton are permitted to move material, and no trailers shall be allowed to access the recycling center. My concern is that many residents do not own pickup trucks. I have utilized a small 4x8 utility trailer pulled by my SUV for years for this purpose. My property is just shy of 1 acre and generates a lot of debris throughout the year. This ban on trailers would make it logistically impossible to move yard waste to the recycling center for someone in my situation. The solution would be to hire someone to move debris or purchase a pickup truck for this purpose. Please consider allowing homeowners to utilize the facilities according to the rules and make an exception for small utility trailers. Thank you for entertaining my concerns.
Thank
Matt
you.
Benjamin.
Who set those rules? Neil, they come from the
That
county?
that comes from the state. It's a NJAC.
Right, so it's out of our control.
Yes.
We have autonomy to change from that modify. I wrote those updates.
All right, thank you. Any others, Liz?
No, that's it.
Okay, motion to adjourn, please.
Second, Megan.
Thank you all for coming.
Aye.
Aye.